my friends, how are you? This is the Chaldonut speaking, and welcome back to some more Tekkit Classic. Today, we are going to be working on some lighting for our new base. I am thinking we're going to be going with some cyan lamps, and the way you make those is with, oh that's blue lamps, whoops, cyan lamp. You use glass, redstone, and cyan lumar, which is made from 2 cyan dye and some redstone. Now what you need to do to make cyan dye is that, right there, just some cactus green and lapis. And then we're going to make a couple more of this because I think if this works out, cyan lamps will be our lighting solution for the base, because we do need lamps in there of some kind, whether redstone, these kinds, or some other type of lighting. And I do like the idea of using these. I think that's a good plan in the long run. Now we're going to make a few more pieces of redstone, because we're going to need a lot of these, frankly. So we're going to make well over a stack, like so. And this should be enough to make as many as we need. And then we also need glowstone, right? We need more glowstone. I don't want to make lapis, I want to produce glowstone. And this is going to take a lot, because this is actually a pretty expensive material. So what if we used a little bit of our obsidian? That's not a bad idea. Some coal. Now let's use... I'm hunting and hawing over whether to use our obsidian. I'm going to use 12 of it to produce some more. That wasn't really that helpful, but we'll dump that in there. 40 glowstone. That'll bring us up to 50. That's enough for now. Now let's head over to the project table, because this is a pretty good spot to work on this sort of stuff. So what we need to do, basically, is line up the recipe right here. Oop, not like that. It's like that. Now we're going to keep 1 glowstone, 1 redstone, and 1 cyan dye in here. And we're going to dump everything else that we have on us that we need to make this stuff in there. So we have at least 1 in case we need more. But that's 64... There we go. That is 64 and 34. Now, we need to make some of these, the actual lamps. So we're going to grab this stuff back, because we don't need it anymore. Which is cool, so we have a little extra glowstone for the future, along with added redstone and some cyan dye. Now, what we need to do is set up the next recipe, which will just go like that. So 1.5 stacks in there. And then we need some glass along the sides, just like that. And we'll leave 1 glass in here, and we'll leave 1 redstone back here. So realistically, we should be making about 3/4 of a stack then of these. So 48, I think, is what we're gonna get. Nah, this will be a bottleneck. The glass. I wasn't factoring that in. We'll have less than that, I believe. But let's just see how many we get. 17. That's not great, but fortunately, we can make glass pretty easily. Basically, the play is you dump this in here. Boom! More glass. And if you really wanted to, you could dump lapis. I'm not going to do that, because that'll produce like 5,000 stacks of glass, and I don't really need that many. Although, hang on. We might need more glass. Glass panes, maybe window. Let's see, are there any window options? No. So I think we're going to go with glass then for our windows to this place. So we're also going to have to make some panes, which realistically means we're going to need more glass. But before I just typed in glare. Whoops. But before I do that, let's eliminate all that. Before I do that, I do want to confirm something about glass panes. Do they have connected textures when you put them together? They do not. Good to know. I wasn't sure they would. And I also can't pick those up, which is unfortunate. I wasn't sure they were going to, but I think there are only... Alright, so we don't get these back even with the mining laser. I wanted to try that before I picked them up with something else that I knew wouldn't work. So glass panes, I think, are going to be our solution for the windows, but they're not great. If we can find something else, or you guys know something else that would work better, please let me know what that is. But we are going to need some windows, and for that reason, we're going to be using them a little bit. And as a result, I kind of want to dump one piece of lapis in there, but that's going to create 800. It's probably too much, so let's not do that. Instead, let's put in a little more cobble. While that's going, let's grab a bit more dirt and a bit more cobble again. 2 more stacks should be plenty for this process. That should realistically be all the glass we need. We might need a little more for this lamp stuff depending on what we can get. But let's dump in a couple more stacks of glass and we'll make all of that. That's 48, like I was expecting it to be. Now let's go see what that does for us so we can actually figure out how many of these we will need in the end. I'm thinking if we budget this, our usage of this stuff, then we might be able to keep it to just a few for each floor. Which would be cool, you know, maybe 8 per floor would work, so we might have plenty here, but I'm not positive. Now the last thing we need to do, actually, is we need to grab a way to power these, and I'm thinking we're just going to do levers. So we need cobble and sticks. Where are my sticks? They're over here. And we need some cobble. Here we go. Sure, and we'll make 48 of these, or at least close to that. We should just make 48, but I don't have 48 sticks on me. So you know what that means, guys. We're going to the condenser. Alright, stick, and... yeah, that'll work. Okay. What? Oh, come on, we're one short. Okay. Let's dump... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's enough for over 2. There we go. So we now have 1 extra stick. Cool. Let's make a whole bunch of levers now. There we go. And that's the system at the moment. So, before we go, let's also turn on the wheat system one last time, just so that we can get some more food going. And then we're going to head out. Oops, wrong way. Accessing that geothermal generator got me all turned around. But we are going to actually go out at night, because since we're doing lighting, it's going to be simpler. Although I did forget to make glass panes before we left, so I will have to do that quickly. Let's go with 16 sets. That's 256 panes. That should be enough. If it's not, I'm gonna be surprised. But, you know, I've been wrong before about how many materials we need to do various things, so it's possible this isn't enough, but I certainly hope it is enough for us to do what we want to do. Now let's get working and let's do some test windows. I know I said when I first created this that I wanted to do kind of a hangar entrance sort of thing with this stuff, but I don't know if that's how we actually will want to handle this. And okay, that does not work. I was just going to try to see if that little design feature worked at all for us, having a little opening in the middle. But I think we are going to go just with that. I don't like glass panes, really. They're not great for me. But hang on, I do have Optifine, so one thing we could check is in our video settings, do we have connected textures or anything like that that we can turn on? I don't know where this would be, but I want to check just before we give up on that prospect. Connected textures. Fast connected textures. That's actually pretty cool, and my FPS seems fine, guys. Now, what's the difference between that and fancy? Not performance. Quality. Fancy connected textures... honestly, I don't know what the difference is, so I think we're going to stick with fast, because fast probably would mean then better frame rate performance, and I think that will be better for our base, because it's more pleasant to look at this connected texture than a lot of bordering. So I am pleased that Optifine gives us more options to do stuff like that. And let me know if you use Optifine and you know what the difference is between fast and fancy, how big a difference that actually makes. Let me know what you think of that. Well, no, let me know what that difference is. I did not phrase that request well at all. Sorry. There we go, that guy's dead. I feel like I am dropping in frame rate, with this connected texture stuff. Yeah, I kind of feel like this is slow. Let's see. Is this faster? It's a little faster. We'll leave it like this for now, and see if we can live with the normal glass textures, just for frame rate performance. I mean, it probably isn't going to affect it too much, but it might be a little faster if we go with the normal textures. So we'll see if it turns out that normal textures are just too much, and they might not work out well, because this doesn't look tremendous. We might switch back to the other kind. Certainly, I think if we're doing any cinematic shots or anything like that, we'll turn on our connected textures, because they do look better. But in terms of performance, since we're not really going to be using the windows that much and looking at them from the outside, that is the windows, we might decide, I might just say, let's forget about the connected textures. Now, obviously, if you really prefer the connected textures, guys, let me know. I certainly prefer them, but I feel like FPS is more important to us right now. Let me know what your opinion is on that issue. And if a lot of people say, bring back the connected textures, I can certainly do that. So speak up! I'm looking at you guys. And you other guys that are standing next to those guys I was talking to before. So, anyway, back to the task at hand. We're going to do these windows, then we're going to set up some lamps, and if we still have any time, and it looks like we're not going to, because we're already running low on time, just by doing these windows here, if we still have time, we might start to move some things into the building, but if not, then we'll do that next episode. But a lot of things are happening here, guys. I mean, we are getting a lot done. This building is almost complete. The lamps and the glass are the last steps to construction, and then after that, the only things left are moving in and building new things to fill the rest of the floors that are unused by our current facilities that we've set up. So, honestly, this is pretty cool. I mean, in the long term, the space is going to serve us very well. I think it's going to provide us with a lot more space in a fancier building, which is certainly cool. One other thing we might do for construction is put in that ladder I talked about. I think last episode is when we put it in. Well, when we were talking about putting it in, and when we put in the jetpack shaft. Another option, though, would be to put a charging station, well, not a charging station, but a battery box on the ground floor, so that we can just charge our jetpack when we come in and fly up. And that way I would be forced to charge my jetpack, instead of sometimes just ignoring the problem and not actually having enough jetpack power for a whole episode. So that might be good for my discipline as a video maker and a jetpack user in Tekkit Classic. But we'll see. We'll figure that all out later, because the interior will probably end up being more of a focus next episode and the one after that, because I'm sure we won't get everything in one episode, because we have a lot of things to move and a lot of things to build, because we do have to completely reset up the auto smelter on one of these floors, and I need more glass panes. Darn it! Alright, I don't even have a crafting table over here. That's frustrating. I'm actually getting kind of a bit of lag here. I don't know, is this normal? I can't tell, because I know I get a lower frame rate in Tekkit than I do in my other videos, just because there's a lot more going on here in terms of mods and entities. Although the entity count isn't that high here, there is just a lot more going on. A lot more things to load, entity-wise and all that. Crafting table, right, that's why I was here. Let's make some more of these. Boom, boom, boom. Sure, we'll just put those in there. Alright, 2 stacks, that's plenty. That should get us all the way through this process. If it doesn't, I'm going to be very angry. Yeah, so I don't think this glass setup looks as nice with no connected textures, but it's not bad, per se. It's just not as good, would be my conclusion, based on what I'm seeing here. Now anyway, let's get this in. I think we left a couple windows up on the top undone, so we'll have to fix those. That didn't go well. Alright, now let's do these side windows since we're here. Alright. Let's break that. And we'll come down here and do this one. So things are going pretty well. I am pretty pleased with how quickly we've constructed this base. I think it looks very nice. So things are going well. I've read some comments from you guys with similar positive opinions of the base, so it's cool to see I'm not the only one who likes it. Now anyway, let's see. I think I left one more up here. Yep, one more window on this side and one over there. But then after that, we are done with the windows, although unfortunately we're not really going to have enough time to use these lamps. Though I'd like to try at least a couple, just to give you guys the sense of what they would look like. And I'm not sure if this is the right call, going with the cyan lamps. I just thought I'd try them, because I didn't want to go too black and white in terms of our whole design. I mean, white lamps, I'm sure, would go well with our color scheme, but I wanted to try to add some different colors to the base, just for fun. Now, anyway, let's quickly try the connected textures one last time, just to see what they would look like. Yep. So that's pretty cool. It's certainly a very different look with the connected textures, and I think it is a better look. But frame rate issues could be a result of including them. So let's turn those back off just for a little bit. And yes, it's not as good, but as I've been saying, I don't think it's bad. I think the base is still really awesome, despite differences in that level of quality. Now the question is, where are we going to put the entrance? Are we going to put it right here in this window area? I don't know. I could do something like this, and I'm not going to break the glass panes yet, but we could put the wall like here, and then here, and then leave an entrance right there. Just to give you a sense, it'd be like that. And it's not bad. That's not bad. I think we'll go with it. So let's break these. Let's break those, and we'll put in the entryway once and for all. And that should conclude the outdoor construction of the base. Da-da-da-da! There we go. So that is the base in all its glory. That's pretty cool. Now we could install this design here on the other layers of these front windows too, if you want, guys. I don't know if that's something we should do, but we certainly could go for it if you think we should add that to allow for the ability to enter on any floor. It's not a bad idea. Also, opinions on how to put a door in for this base are welcome. Maybe we're going to go iron door. I don't know for sure. But I know there's one thing you've been dying to see, guys. Or at least I would be dying to see at this point. The lamps. What do they look like when they're turned on in this place? And apparently, I can't place lamps on the ceiling. I mean, levers on the ceiling. That's weird. Alright, well, this is what they look like. I don't know about that. Let's look at them from the outside. What do they look like from out here? I don't know. They're not bad. They're not bad. But again, are they good? Because I don't want to settle for not bad with this base. In most cases. I mean, connected textures is one thing, because low FPS is not good. And that's a worse problem than not bad. But let me know what you thought of those lamps. We might try a different lamp next episode. We might go with the white lamps. I don't know. I was hesitant to go with those because I didn't want to go too bland with the color scheme. But it may turn out that that would have been a better choice and that I've wasted resources on this cyan lamp setup. So again, opinions are welcome. Let me know what you think our plan should be going forward. But in the short term, our base is constructed. So without further ado, I hope you have enjoyed, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe if you did. This is me, Chaldonut, speaking. Goodbye, friends. And I will see you all next time with some more Tekkit Classic.